Hello everyone, it's Lawrence here from Unicorn Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at the Corsair Carbide 200R, which is an entry-level but still enthusiast-grade case at a very cool price point. So let's bring the camera in to do like a little box overview. There we go. So you get easy builds with it. Obviously that's great. Even if you're an experienced builder, if something's easy to use, it's just great. You get PCI expansion with some screws, tool-free SSD and hard drives, and even opticals. And you have cutouts for cable routing and CPU cooling. It's easy to expand, easy to use, just easy to do everything with. What just makes it really fun to use. There's also a product picture. Of course, it then says Carbide 200R, really big letters there. Moving over to the top, there's not an awful lot on the top, so it just says Corsair 200R. On the sides, they do actually give information on the sides, so too bad someone put a barcode on underneath. So if you're French or Italian, you're going to be screwed with this case because you can't read what's in it. Anyway, you have room for two 140s or two 120s in the top. Same for the sides. The bottom you can put a single 120 or 140. In the rear a single 120, so no 140 there. There should be plenty of room though for big CPU coolers, and in the front there is room for two 120mm. It's the version with a solid side panel. Is that an image? It is now. So you just get a little sticker that says this is the solid side panel version, and then you just have like an exploded view on the case itself on the side of the box. So you just see where the fans are. It comes with two fans standard, power supply, dust filter, and then the solid panels with of course room to put fans in the sides. And then it says it's really easy to mount, like in a bunch of letters here. Anyway, let's open this box up. Now, some people actually open their boxes before doing unboxings, and so they tend to know what they're talking about a bit more than me. But I think doing it this way kind of helps with the experience of unboxing. Right, a bunch of tape on there. It's not very heavy, which is great when you're doing an unboxing on video. Massive static shock as always. And they sealed, the bag is sealed from the top. I thought I was going to be smart opening it, upside down. Yeah, Corsair got me there. Anyway, decent size. I would like to see it a bit thicker, but the box is already pretty big. And the case apparently arrived undamaged, so I guess packaging is okay. Booklet with stuff. Every case has that. Alright, so that pretty much will be it for the unboxing. So now, without any camera editing stuff, I'm going to move on to the look around the product itself. So, first of all, the front panel. So you can see there's two USB 3s, audio out, microphone in, a reset button, decent click, not really a positive feel, but it's a decent click. 8 hard drive activity lights, and then a power button which also has the power on light in there. The entire front is then just really clean. It's powder coated, not brushed, so it's going to be somewhat okay with fingerprints. Moving on to the top, that's where you see, sorry about the shakiness, but mounting 15mm hole separation for radiator users. So dual 120s or dual 140s. If you use 120s, they'll be offset, so you can have massive radiators overhanging your case, your motherboard. If, of course, the motherboard heat sinks aren't too massive. Now, moving on to the sides, you get a similar system. And I'm just going to get my viewfinder with me. So on the side, similar system with the rubbers to dampen vibrations. It's pretty much, well, a tiny bit pushed in, so it sits a bit lower than the rest of the side panel. You then get these 2 thumb screws. So they're just like usual thumb screws, the ones everyone uses. And then the side panel just slides off. Quite some flex to it. Gonna make like thunder sounds with it. Yeah, so a bit of flex to it, nothing too, you know, unusable. Like most cases, it uses latches to, you know, hook itself up to the case itself. In there, first thing we find is the accessory box, which is locked into the hard drive cage. I'm going to go into detail on those later. So you get an accessory box that says 200R, nothing special. Inside it you don't get an awful lot, but it's better than nothing. Okay. Yep, one more zip tie. Now zip ties always get stuck in cardboard boxes for some reason. There we go, we got it. So what is inside the little cardboard box? Get 5 zip ties, motherboard screws, screws for hard drives, SSDs to like really mount them solidly, because you do get toolless everything. More screws, and 4 really long screws. We're going to have to find out what those do later on, because I have no idea at the moment. You know, single shot madness here. So, you can put up to 3 opticals in here. There's then this lovely system with, you know, just metal sliders, and the metal has 2 pins on it. And then these pins click into the hard drive. And if you really want to mount it solidly, there's a... where the hell's my camera? There's a little hole here, so you can mount it in that, and then this just slides in, locks into place like that. On the back, of course, there's a 120mm fan, same for the front. I'm going to bring you guys in a tiny bit more. Hope that the lighting is okay. So it gets flat USB 3 connector, great for cable management. That. Of course, the normal front headers, and then a HD audio cable. The motherboard standoffs, as you can see, can you see this? Probably. Motherboard standoffs come pre-installed, every single one of them, and we also didn't see any standoffs with the accessory package. In the bottom of the case, room for a 140 or 120mm fan. Quite a thin bottom, so it does has a bit of flex to it, but you know, even a fractal or 4 flex is a lot. So, simple little dust filter. It does the job. It just slides in. Let's just figure out how easy it is to locate the rails. It's somewhat easy, okay. And then it has a nice lock when it goes into place. None of these panels, like, oh, I'm completely zoomed in still. Okay, so like the top panel or the front panel, none of these are removable. The front panel is removable though, so it just has tabs that you undo. But I'm going to move on to the back before I move on to the front. And I should have undone these thumb screws first. Sorry about that. I just don't like editing videos, so. And this one's in really tightly. There we go. So same mechanism, just slide it out. Tiny little bit less flex to this one. Still more than I would like, but you know. Okay. The motherboard backplate. As you can see, Corsair cables are always black. You know, they're like that with their power supplies as well, with the higher end ones. So no room to actually hook up, you know, to zip tie stuff to, other than one here, and then one here at the bottom, and like 4 of them there. But like here, I would really like to have seen some mounts right there to just put stuff on there. You have about 1 finger room worth of you know, cable management room. So that's about 15 millimeters we've learned in previous videos. The hard drives apparently don't need rails, so I'm going to move on to hard drive installation because this is the brilliance of this case. It is incredibly light though. First up, the back, normal I/O plate, room for a 120, no 140 in here. 7 PCI brackets, cutouts here, just stamped out, and a power supply cover which isn't removable. So hopefully this time we can see the hard drive, because this is probably the best low-cost version of a hard drive locking system I've ever seen. Pretty much what you do is the SSD, so 2.5-inch drives, up to 4 of them can be slided in here. Now, so you just push 4 of them in there. And then when you need hard drives, you can just slide 4 of them in here, so that's 8 drives which you can put in. Great stuff. Also, if you put in SSDs, and that's really cool, they made cutouts here, so you could even go from here with the cables and then figure out some way to get the cables away from here. So if you don't want the cables hanging out here, and if you then invert your drives and use angled SATA connectors, you could probably just route it where the fan is and just remove the fan, because point of criticism, it's a very small cutout here. It's not over the entire height of the case, only the lower half. So air is going to come through, but I'm not pretty sure about it, and I always really like bottom-up airflow systems, where you just put a fan in the bottom, heat rises, the air will also rise with it, and it will then just go out of the top. But you know, it's a pretty cool system, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, you feel that it's cheaper, because I mean, it doesn't feel cheap at all, but it feels cheaper than the stuff I usually use, because the metal is a bit thinner. But everything is very well tolerable. So right now I'm going to build a system in it, show you what it's like with a full system in there, and when all of that is done, of course there's a conclusion, because what is a review without a conclusion? So guys, a finished build. It's a GPU-less build, because it is for a small company, this one, and you know, it's just going to be used as an office PC. So those who saw the CPU, you know, an i7 is probably overkill, but it just has to be fast for a very long time, this build. So first thing, I already complained a bit about how thin the metal was. The case is a bit shaky. Now that might just be my desk as well, but yeah, the worst thing is when you do this. That's not even doing it very hard, but it's just, you know, like thunder is coming on, you know. Anyway, this is inside the PC. There was a bit of a lack of space on the back, so a bit of cables here. Then I stashed everything else there. I went with a brown and yellow theme throughout, so you have yellow SATA cables, yellow motherboard, well, brown and yellow. I just decided to go with the theme really. Something you can see, but I'm going to go into that more into that later. You can completely see through the mesh, which I don't really like. But as you can see, if I were to put a graphics card in there, just about any graphics card would fit. If you were to go with a longer board, and keep in mind this is 27 centimeters, so this is probably, until here is probably like 33, 34. If that is still not enough, you can just completely take that out, giving you room for whatever sort of card you want really. The front panel, I had a little bit of a problem with it, but that's all for the conclusion. So yeah, this is pretty much a finished build. It looks pretty clean. It would have been cleaner if you went with a full-size ATX board, because then this wouldn't happen and these would be tucked away a bit closer. But yeah, on to a little video where I complain about seeing through stuff, and then we're going to do the conclusion. Alright guys, off the tripod just quickly before the conclusion, because I want to show you something. Namely, and I don't know if it's going to work properly on camera, but because it has this massive mesh and it has it on the side as well, you can completely see through everything, making it not really aesthetically pleasing. On this side though, and on the other side, which where the light will probably be better, they used a very thin filter, and I really would have liked to see them include that everywhere, just to make it look a bit cleaner, darken everything out. Whereas right now you can see the DVD drive in there, you can see the memory in there, you can see everything really. So that's not what I would call optimal, but it's good, I guess. But those are a few things that I would like to see changed. So let's move on to a conclusion. Alright guys, time for a conclusion on the Corsair Carbide 200R, and award wise we're gonna give it silver, because it is great value for money. It has all the features you would need out of a case. There's also a windowed version for not much more. Get opticals, but they don't disturb the aesthetics of the case. It really looks good, the case, other than 1 or 2 points, namely the mesh, which is so see-through that it just looks really cheap, and you can see more through the mesh than you can through some windows, let's just put it that way. And that's pretty much not the only reason, but there's another one, we'll go into that later. That's pretty much the only reason why it doesn't get like gold or something, so only silver for this one. Second reason is the terrible noise, and it's not just when you hit it, it's when you move it around a bit or you just push it, you just feel it flex a lot, and the side panel just feels really cheap. And I mean, I get the point that the case is supposed to be budget friendly and everything, but they should have reinforced it a little bit to prevent that annoying noise from happening. Other than that, I'm really pleased with it, and I would really recommend it to anyone. You can use it for gaming or for an office PC like this one. So yeah, if you like this video, press the like button. If you dislike the video, please press the dislike button, although I don't really see why you would want to do that. Please leave a comment on what your favorite budget case is. And don't forget to subscribe to Unicorn Reviews. Thank you all very much for watching.